Hello guys. I was inspired by some videos that were shown on my live the other night by Roma and Get Off, where they're shown the beautiful areas that they are lucky to frequent at the moment. And I happened to be in a beautiful area of my town yesterday, so I did some recording for you to let you see where I live and the beauty around that surrounds me. Now, I'm not very apt at using my phone, so it is a bit jumpy, and I'm a bit of a dingbat, or nincompoop, or wally, or numpty, whatever you want to call me. And at times when I thought I was recording video, I wasn't. So that's why there's certain parts of it where you see very little. It's really jumpy. Particularly around the stone circle. I thought I was recording quite a bit of the stone circle. Unfortunately, I didn't record hardly anything at all. Weirdly, the little bit of the stone circle I did manage to record, I didn't see that person come out from behind the rocks while I was recording. There wasn't anyone there. Spooky. Anyway, I hope you enjoy just seeing the area I live in. Have fun, and I'll see you at some point soon. Hello, I just thought I'd give you a view of one of my favourite areas in the town I live. So this is what's known as Peace Park. In front of us is a massive labyrinth, and as you can see in the distance there is a peace pagoda. And down there you should just be able to make out the lake, and beyond these trees is a commune. We'll have a walk. Please excuse the bumpiness. I'm not very good at holding the camera steady, and I'm walking on, I'm not going to keep going the path. Let's walk on the path. It might steady it a bit. No, not at all. Doesn't help I've got a bag on my back shoulder banging about, knocking my arm every few seconds. Let's take you for a walk. So that's the labyrinth over there. I don't know if you can make out the little tracks in it, so it goes all the way round. I'll head towards that now, and then you can see the lake over there in the distance. It's not that distant. It looks further away than it is. Like I said, I'm not very good at holding the camera steady, so it's jumping about a bit. Please excuse that. So this labyrinth here, just about to enter it now, it's made up of these little narrow paths. You follow them around, like so. And in the centre of the labyrinth is that tree. I don't think I will be going the whole route of the labyrinth because it's quite a windy one. Once you actually get to it, that is. So labyrinths are very good tools for meditation. So if you ever have a labyrinth anywhere near you, you can meditate as you walk around the labyrinth. But yeah, so here we go. So as you can see, the labyrinth starts going off in different directions. You can see the swirls of the labyrinth there. Like I said, I'm not going to walk the whole labyrinth because it goes on all the way over there. So we're going to take a shortcut. And there's the lake over there, you can see it. Let's go down to the lake because it's probably easier than me climbing that hill. Yes, the labyrinth goes on and on. we've got these beautiful pieces dotted around the labyrinth as well. And over there you've got a sculpture, which we'll go and look at now. That noise you can hear is probably my bag. I've got a bag full of picnic stuff. Banging against my hip at the moment. So here we go. So this is a sculpture. We have lots of sculptures like this in my town, just randomly placed anywhere. And this one is called, you can see, Souls in Love, and it's actually a memorial piece. It's beautiful. I'll back out of it, all the way around. That's really nice. It almost reminds me of like an entwined flame. Beautiful. See, there's dates. So it's almost like a headstone, I guess. Turn the camera down like this because there's people in front of me. I don't want to catch them without their permission. Okay, let's head down towards the lake. So this lake itself is a nature reserve. There is another lake that joins onto it, which is more of an activities lake where you do water sports and stuff. But this one, this part is a nature reserve. I don't know if you can see how well you can see all the birds on the lake out there. Walk past the lake. I just love this place. It's very quiet. Oh, didn't need to catch people on the camera. It's very quiet. So there's the labyrinth again. And the trees around it. And yeah. It's getting a bit busier now because the day is getting on a bit and people are venturing outdoors. So there's getting more people around. Which is why I'm pointing the camera in this direction and not in the other direction. All of this land is maintained by a charity, so the trees are coppiced on a regular basis to make sure they don't overgrow. So there is the peaceful garden. I'm going to head towards that. So this was the first, I believe it was the first peace pagoda in the Western world. Excuse me. So again, it's really beautiful. We'll get close to it in a minute. lovely place to walk. Just come and chill out. This place is. Fortunately, it's also a nice day. Well, not a nice. It's a reasonable day. It's you can see the sky is grey. The temperature's not too bad, so people are coming out now as it starts to warm up. There's a board over here. Let's look at the information on the board. So this tells you all about the Peace Brigade here. That's the Peace Brigade itself. Hold it on here for a little while so you can read the information. Obviously I'm not showing you it in order, which is annoying. So you've got the birth. Prince Sahadra, whose name means every wish fulfilled, was born in the Lambrini Garden at the foot of the Himalayas more than 2,500 years ago. Immediately he took 7 steps towards each of the directions of the compass. With his right hand he pointed to the heavens, and with his left he pointed to the earth. He announced the purpose of his birth. Above and below heaven there is no one but I alone to be revered. This triple world being the realm of suffering, it will bring deliverance. The Great Unification, yeah. Prince Hidra grew up in the luxury of his father's palace. Only later he came to realise his life is full of suffering through sickness, old age and death. Nothing ever remains in permanent peace and happiness. Then he abandoned his kingdom and all his comforts. As a homeless wanderer, he searched for enlightenment so he could free all living beings from this endless suffering. Then we've got the defeat of Mara. In his long search for wisdom, he mastered all spiritual teachings and devoted himself to self-torment. He lived with 5 other disciples in absolute poverty, always hungry and weak. But he discovered that it was not the way to truth. Finally, he sat under a Bodhi tree near Gaya and vowed not to move until he attained enlightenment and could fulfill his promise of saving the world. The king of Mara, the king of Mara, who ruled the powers of evil, sent him to torment and corrupt Sitara. But touching the earth with his right hand, Sitara fought off all these temptations. Enlightenment. For 3 weeks, the Buddha, as Sitara had now become, sat in blissful peace. Then the Brahma kings and the gods who oversee the world arrived and greeted him. With clasped hands they entreated him to start his sacred mission of bringing peace to the world and to roll the wheel of Dharma. The first rolling of the wheel. The Buddha loved the people like his own children. He decided to preach the Dharma at the deer park near Sana and gave his first sermon of the 5 men he had studied with before. To the 5 men he had studied with before. This marked the beginnings of the teaching of Buddha and of the community of his disciples. And we've got the Bamboo Grove Monastery. The Buddha travelled and preached throughout India. In Magda, he met a king who was impressed with his teachings. They decided to become a follower. King Bimbisara gave the Buddha and his followers the Bamboo Grove Park and the place for their first monastery. The revelation of Myoho Rengi Kyo on Divine Vulture Park. After 40 years of travelling and preaching, the Buddha gave his most important sermon to the great assemblings of gods and his disciples at the Divine Vulture Park. He spoke of the unity of all religious teachings and everything that existed. He promised that everyone would become Buddha. As he spoke, a magnificent stupa appeared. It was dedicated to a former Buddha called Abundant Treasure, who confirmed the profound truth of these teachings. Together, the Buddha revealed their promise to save the world from suffering and to bring eternal peace. And the last one, 8, Parinirvana. After 50 years of teaching, the Buddha asked that a couch be prepared for him in Kisingara. He wished to depart beneath 2 flowering solar trees. Then he started on his journey. At Kisingara, surrounded by his disciples, he lay down on the couch and rested his head on his hand. The birds stopped singing. The wind ceased and the blossom fell from the trees above him. The Buddha asked his disciples if they had any further questions. No one replied. Finally, he encouraged his disciples to follow his example. He passed away as flames ceased to burn. He remains forever in this world. Yeah. That's the story of Buddha. And we've got these steps that we have to go up. Do a little bit of repair, and on the entrance to the Peace Brigade, you have the 2 lions guarding it. Very close to the lions, you can have a look at one of them. Majestic lions. Sorry, again, there's people. I'm trying not to get into camera. I can pass. Annoying children. It's not so peaceful when there's children whinging. There you go, so we're getting a bit closer to the road. As you can see, there's 2 more lions. The platform is for spiritual ceremonies and gatherings. Again, the 2 lions, one either side. You got the steps. I'm not going to be able to give you true justice of it, but it's all sculptures around. I can't even see them properly from here. Probably. The grass space inside the circle has 4 sections, represent the elements of fire, water, earth and air. The lesser gates and the needle stone mark the Midsummer Elegy line, which extends from Midsummer Boulevard through Town Park, which is the park I was talking to you about, and the Tree Cathedral, which I also spoke to you about, to the island in the middle of the North Lake, which you can't really see because it's like covered in trees. So it just looks, you can't see the island very well. Yeah. As I said, over here, this way, get away from all the people. Too many people here for my liking today. Normally come up here in an evening. There's not so many people about. So I'm getting notifications on WhatsApp annoyingly. That's what that buzzing noise is. You can see it's like the Buddhist temple through the trees there. So we'll take you out to have a closer look. Too many people. So that's where we just come from. So over that direction is the Police Brigade, and the labyrinth we started off on. There is your stone circle beyond them trees. And this. And this corner is the Buddhist temple. So they do have a lovely is it Feng Shui garden out the back? So if I can go around there and have a look. There are sculptures around as well. So I've got this one here. This one's Hiroshima by Ronald Ray. It's hand carved from 400 and I don't know what, I can't read that. Of 470 million year old Scottish granite. The memorial does not invite admiration or heroism or self-sacrifice for others. This nameless, pathetic, scarcely human form conveys only the appalling history of innocent men and women and children sadly extinguished by nuclear bombs. Ronnie is also remembering those today who die in the world's continuing conflicts. So yeah, so that's well, I'm sure you know what Hiroshima is. Yeah, there's more of those stones that are like the stone circle around here. A little pond there. Closer view of the temple. And they do invite people in to join them, and they're very, very nice people. So these are the gardens here. There's a little mini stone circle there, and what looks like a fairy house. I'm sure it's not, but that's what it looks like to me. That's the toilet I wanted to use earlier on. Now, I'm not going to go on to this land because it's very sacred to them, but I'll just show you here. So what it says here: enjoy the peace and quiet, enjoy the Zen garden, but please don't walk on the gravel as it takes many hours to rake. So if you look closely, you can see it's all been raked. Yeah, beautiful, peaceful. I'm going to stop the camera for a moment. As you can see, this is the more commercialised side of the lake, where all the water sports and the pubs and everything happen. Big fun fair over there, cafe and water sports and pubs and donut shops. I've got some donuts, yummy donuts. Look what I found. Hot, sugared donuts. Yum, 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 yum. But yeah, this is the noisier part of the lake, the less peaceful part. And over that bridge there, in the distance, it goes through to the peaceful part of the lake where we were before. From that lake, you come away from that lake that we were at, the commercially sized lake, and you're welcome to this area. All these lovely trees around us. Beautiful. Just again, you hear the birds. Some birds. You hear the traffic for the cars on the road. You hear the birds over the top of them. There are picnic benches around as well. You can sit there and chill and have a picnic. Not many people use it, to be fair. This is really quite unused area. Oh. Now we're coming up to the river. Got a few kids around here playing, which is quite common. There's a nice little bit of the river where you can get down to and paddle your feet just up here. So, big small trees, just a lovely area. Again, trying not to get too many people in the camera, but it's quite hard to avoid. Haha. So there's a little bit of the river that my kids used to dip into when they were younger. In fact, I think they've still done it a few times now.
That looks like a bag. It looks like a bag though. No, I can literally see the letters. Where?
It's a great bridge to play poo sticks on. So you can see the kids getting into the water now. We just head over this bridge. You've got a pathway along the river, heading that way, which is where I will end up going. But just beyond these small row trees is a housing estate. And as I said, in the town where I live, all this, look at all this from the trees. They're very fertile this year. I wouldn't want to have hay fever around here and have an allergy to this particular pollen. Yeah, so as I said, wherever I live in my town, wherever you live in this town, you're not far away from beauty that is nature. Down the path a little bit, you can see that bridge in the distance that we came over, and that's the river. And all this white stuff on the floor is so thick along that path, it's almost like cotton wool. I'll just show you close up of it on these beautiful natural plants. It's all over the place. Some people call them weeds, I call them nature. That's the river. I'll carry on a little bit along this river, and I'll be heading into the housing estate for a little while, and I'll catch you up once we've gone through the housing estate. I mean, it's a nice housing estate, don't get me wrong, it's probably one of the nicer housing estates in the area, but it's not that interesting, but it leads to a village, and that's when I'll pick you up again. Okay, so we've just come out of the housing estate. You can see it over there in the background. And this is where the sort of village and the housing estate conversion. Beyond this area here is actually a pond. I don't know if you can just about make it out there. The only view I can see of the actual water is here, because it's so overgrown. But this pond hosts the greater crested newt, which is an endangered species, and actually it puts scuppers on the development plans of the area for a while. But this is an ancient pond, this is an old pond, and that's what I actually love about this little town that I live in, big town that I live in. People think of it as uber modern, but there's actually so much history here hidden among. Oh, I might be able to get a closer look at the pond. Oh yeah, here we go. I can see the pond now. Just down here. Oh, did you see that heron? About to fly away. So yeah, so this is like an ancient pond that has been here for a very long time. A bit dried out, which is amazing considering how much rain we've had over the last few months. But yeah, so there's so much history in this town. People think of it as a modern town, but what they forget is it's a modern town that incorporates lots and lots of villages. Come back out of there. Lots and lots of villages and old towns. And the village I'm about to walk into is actually the village that this town I live in, this modern town I live in, got his namesake from. So you can see it over there. I'll come a bit closer to the church. You can see it now, and behind there you can see some old buildings. I'm not sure what they are, if they're homes or were homes. They could have been something else. I know there's a manor house just up beyond here. I want to get a closer look at the actual church itself. So that's where I'm heading to. These beautiful stone walls. I mean, you can just see and feel the history. I mean, look at the trees inside there. Stone walls. Okay. Beautiful graveyard to look away now. So that's our graveyard. If you look closely, hard to make out, there are actually gargoyles on the church. If you see up on that cream bit up there, there's a little gargoyle's head. But yeah, and you can see where the drain pipe is? You can see a little gargoyle to the side of it. There's quite a few of them scattered around the church. It's beautiful. And if I was a religious person, was to get married in a church, this is the sort of church I want to get married in. But I'm not, so it won't be. I'm going to pause for a little while and then I'm going to catch us up when we get further into the village. Actually, before I do that, there's something I can show you right now. Actually, do you know what? I'm not going to pause it. So this building you can see I'm coming up to now is the village hall, but it used to be the school many years ago, and it's used now for all sorts of things. And I've been to a few spiritual events there, and there's a lot of energy in that building, let me tell you. So, you see the play area in the fourth outside it. There's lots of play areas like that in our area. We're very lucky. So, and there again you can see some of the older properties behind the trees. And this is a quintessential English village. So look at that beautiful English garden. Yeah. So that's the Manor farmhouse. It's a massive garden. That's another view of the village hall. Like I said, it used to be an old schoolhouse. Let me get down a bit further down here. So this is actually a road. There's no footpath here. Or sidewalk, as the Americans call it. Footpath. Or pavement. So this is like an old original road. You see about the old curbstones. Not sure what's beyond there. It's like being in the countryside here. Look at that. Look at that expansive garden that that lovely manor house has. Look how beautiful. I feel like I'm spying on someone's property. But hey ho. Look at it. Isn't that beautiful? Let me go down here. And this is where we're going into the heart of the village. That used to be the local shop. It's now a barber's apparently. It's changed use for many uses while I've lived in this part of the town. And then we have, over here we have a lovely, beautiful thatched roof. Quintessential English pub. And this is very old, this building. And if you look in the back, if you look over there, there is actually a red telephone box still. Yeah, that's the pub. Isn't it beautiful? And beyond the telephone box is an old school bus stop that I don't think really gets used anymore because I don't think any buses come along here. I may be wrong, but yeah. Now we're going through the village, and you've got some of them are really old houses, some more modern houses, but again, majority of all these houses here are older than the town itself. But yeah, like you said, you've got a nurse's cottage there. So this is the village itself. There are some more houses down past the phone box and bus stop and the allotments. Yeah. And I think that is where I will end my tour, because at the end of this road we come back into the modern world. Well, we've still got the modern world here, but you know, more modern world. Change my plan, as you see. So some old barns that have been converted into studios by the looks of it. I forgot there was more old houses on here. Okay, look at that one. Beautiful thatch cottage. You can see how this village, every home is unique. And that's the modern world in front of us.